The stock market took the first dip yesterday because of Iceland.
We're on the Moontrain!
All right. Interesting weekend on all fronts. Just got my computer working finally. Had to fly to Honolulu. They couldn't switch out my screen. They didn't even have the computer that I have at the biggest Apple store in the state. Had to MacGyver it. Had to get another drive across the island. Then when I was heading home, my flight got cancelled. But I was past security and walked on to the last plane to the island that took me to the other side of the island. So, a bunch of bogus. And then we have obviously had the situation in Minnesota. We've had the situation on China tariffs. And most importantly, we are monitoring the situation in China, where it's reported that President Xi has taken out the military brass and 3,000 family members in an attempted coup. So, futures just opened, gap down. We have an early high tomorrow. Here's the move. Now we're going to be trading against this gap, right? So, overall problem here now with the market is this gap from last Sunday is still open after a whole week, and that is a message to the bulls. Dow Jones was able to take out that gap, IWM and QQQ. SPX was not, neither was US 500. Okay, so we got that gap cooking right there, and it's one hell of a gap. Hold on, where's my SPX? And on SPX, same thing, right? We are going now likely, not only are we filling this gap here, right? That's what US 500 is doing currently. It is fucking with that gap. So let's see if we fill this during market hours and then come back down. This one is obviously of interest, should also fill this week. This gap, lots of gaps. Then you have this gap here, another gap, right? And then finally you have this gap here. So can it get ugly? It can get very, very ugly. Okay, best case scenario, you fill this gap, maybe that gap, and go back up. We obviously have FOMC. We have all the big tech earnings. Everything can be flipped on a Truth Social post. It's a news-driven market. Personally, there's two things I'm looking at. Three. Is this a head and shoulders? If that is the case, probably HSI goes and fills this gap here. Okay? And no point in touching BABA until then, right? They're beating that though. So China is gonna be everything. It not only has to do with the tariffs. You have this domestic issue with top brass. China is on the forefront. Second issue this week is where is he? He's right there. Is this shit? If it's true that the Fed is going to dump dollars to try to save us from a carry trade situation here, which it looks like they're definitely doing, we're gonna need to make a bunch of funny money this week. When's the last time the Dixie gapped? It gaps right there and right there. Yeah. So the de-dollarization not only happening abroad but domestically too. And which brings us to precious metals. I've spoken to 4 people now who said that when they try to go and sell their physical, it's not that easy, nor are they getting the price of the paper. So, are they trapping people until you can sell for tokens? Abso-fucking-lutely. Which then brings me to, again, Dow Jones, IWM, QQQ, fill the gap, SPX did not. What is gonna be the next hot thing that's already hot is copper. You need copper for AI, obviously. Jensen in China right now, coincidence? I don't think so. Looking at this, ASML at all-time highs is going to be the deciders for the semis, the chips, QQQ, tech, you fucking name it, okay? It is this 11.15 billion is heavy compared to last. Holy shit. If they can't beat that and give major guidance, tech is coming down. Also this week, changing the game is going to be the possible rollout that we were told last week or 2 weeks ago about the 3 weekly expirations on Mag 7, right, and Avgo. So until we know how that acts, when do they actually expire, what about Hood, do they expire 30 minutes prior, yada 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 yada. That's gonna change the action of trading options going forward, and we need to kind of stick to weeklies until we see how they react, because there's going to be a lot of money to be made. Just need to dive into how the algos treat them, how the decay is, if they pick up a new pattern, you know, full Rain Man shit. And Meta obviously was pumped back up into this, as was Microsoft. Tesla has earnings. Elon's gonna do his best to pump it. Can he come out with something actually new? I don't fucking know. If he does, 500. If he doesn't, it's going back to there. Okay, and undercut it to fill that gap, which I'm almost leaning towards, but we'll have to see what the flow and DP is doing. Okay, as far as this week, you got a cavalcade of earnings. There we go, there it is. Shipping's down, that's probably gonna suck. You got RTX, Lockheed, Boeing, and Caterpillar, probably all decent, I would think. Microsoft, Meta, Tesla, LRCX, IBM, all here. And then you have Apple, and I have to say, like, Apple has sold ever since it was reported Tim Cook might be staying on. And I even fucking said when I had to buy this $2,500 computer, you can't fucking change the screen, it takes 2 weeks. Like, what kind of a shit service is that? I feel like all Tim Cook's done is sell us carbon neutrality on Apple Watches and a fucking pair of snorkels that no one wanted to buy. Yet Brodog's banking hard. So like, Apple needs, how is Siri not light years ahead of Grok? Come on, man. What a fucking joke. So they really need strong earnings. Then you got this, will the hype live up to it? And then you got these credit cards. Is this 10% cap gonna become a thing, right? Crypto under pressure. Coinbase, I have a starter, but I'm really at this point looking at gap fill on it, okay? And then pick some up, because same with Hood. At like 102 underneath, bottom falls out, and that is obviously a real concern. I've looked at the premium charts of Baba. They got some crazy ass fucking ghosts. If he can hold above 160 this week, it is good to go soon. This is now becoming a thing here, clearly, as I'm filming this. Markets are under pressure. So Trump needs to save this by morning, or you're gonna be not trading against that gap, you'll be fucking trading against this gap. And if that VIX 1D doesn't open up here and go rogue early in the week, that's what I'll be looking at. China and this. Okay, we had a great week last week. Fear is gonna be high, and I want as much fear and bear market as possible so that I can catch the craziest rally into this full moon. Next week I'm having surgery, so I'm not gonna be trading intraday. I mean, unless there's news brewing, because Monday I didn't do much right, or Tuesday, sorry. We had this big old fade, grabbed calls in close, ripped, bottom again, ripped, and then more calls here up for here. The rest of Friday was absolute dog shit garbage. I just YOLO'd some YOLOs, that's it. I'm 95% cash. This is gonna feel this now. I think that's a ghost, right? And then we'll see what the ping pong table gives us. But as of right now, we're there, right? Okay, what does that mean? That means we've undercut the 50, but we're gonna hold this volume shelf here. And then you have the whole Fed issue, and you got the whole Second Amendment issue, and it's important that you think for yourself, right? The NAMO, probably gonna be down there. Can it still rip up here? Yes, they're just parking it right in the middle. Friday we saw dark pool selling, right? End of the day, boom, you clear that wall into the close just with flow. As you can see there under the hood, they were dumping all fucking day. So will they buy the dip? I mean, they just did for $2 on SPY. So we'll have to see where we open, right? It's gonna be a spicy week. There's gonna be money to be made. Have to observe during the days and then hit the extremities for after hours. Most of these moves are obviously after hours. You can see that. If they save it, it's pretty clear as day here. Let's draw it out for you real quick. Okay, and then probably reject that line again. If this is the play, you're gonna get some sustained selling. If you do one more push higher here and you can't go clear that fucking gap up, this is going down, not in a straight line, but it is definitely going to pay $6.50 a visit, minimum, probably more than that. If the game plan is to sow as much division globally or worldwide, I don't use globally, sorry, slip up, but worldwide and also domestically, in order to get people engaged in the shit show with their emotions, just to get them to participate in the system in times for midterms. You could get all the way down to fucking 560. Hopefully I tested these, but that wouldn't be during this collar. That's for the next collar, June specifically, and then huge rebound and mega rally end of year. So that's kind of what we're looking at here. God bless. And again, nothing major on the calendar as far as economic reports besides FOMC. So you get durable goods on Monday. Tuesday is a fuck you day. Major press conference, soap opera, you fucking name it. And Friday had some data too, I believe, besides all the earnings. Yes, PPI. And then the month is wrapped up. Okay, so I'll probably open a little bit red due to my YOLOs, depending upon China. But yeah, then we see. Okay, God bless.
We're